Hi, Owen Davis here again from Leafield Real Estate, here with Tim Nimmo from I4 Property, who's a buyer's agent, and Tim works with us with referring property management to us right across the eastern seaboard with Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane. But Tim, tell us a bit about your story with property investing, how you got started and how you got started in the industry.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I started out as a tradesman, so I was an electrician many moons ago, so I'm in my mid-40s now. I became a tradesman at 19, and at 19 I bought my first property in Epping.
Right.
And I was fortunate...
That's Epping in Sydney, by the way.
Epping in Sydney, and I was fortunate enough to find a subdividable block. And I didn't really know what I was doing. I kind of stumbled across this opportunity. And I was able to subdivide that block and make some good money out of that property. So that gave me the taste at age 19. I just wanted to get involved into property and investing. And so after that, I just went on and each year built and developed my portfolio from there.
Okay. And how did you go from there to now becoming a buyer's agent and helping other buyers buy property? And is it mainly investment properties, or you help people with owner-occupied purchases as well?
Yeah, investment is really our forte. We prefer investment because that's my experience and my business partner's experience, but we will help the owner-occupier. Look, I think what happened with us is because we did so many transactions ourselves, both personally, and we learned so much, and you learn from your mistakes. And so now we've been able to, I guess, learn from all that over the last 15, 20 years. It's okay, well, when a buyer comes to us, and we are buyer's agents, you can jump on basically our shoulders. And we can kind of help you steer through that maze of property investing. Because it's things like right now in the marketplace where if you're a Sydney sider, which I am, every second day in the paper, there's a negative story out there about property. Don't buy, the market's coming back. But in fact, there's over 100 areas I know of that are growing outside of Sydney. So there are opportunities to invest today, and interest rates are at the lowest levels they've ever been at. So there's opportunity.
Now, I know you do a mix of, with your investor clients, a mix of brand new as well as existing properties. Why do you deal with a mix, and what's the difference from your point of view with working with clients to help them work out what they should buy for their circumstances?
Look, it comes down, we find, a personal preference. When you buy established properties, there's obviously inherent risk because the property's old and there's going to be things you have to improve and change. However, we find that you can negotiate much better with an established property. So our mix at the moment is about 50-50. 50% will buy brand new and 50% buy established. I have a client right now, Dave, and Dave has a self-managed super that he's just set up. He has a borrowing capacity, a smaller amount, and so that's limited his ability to even be able to buy new. So we're finding him an established property right now. So again, it does depend on the client's desire, his needs, and what the market's doing. Because you don't want to buy brand new in a market where there's hundreds and hundreds or thousands of units or hundreds and hundreds of brand new estates in one area, because there could be an oversupply of brand new.
And actually, we were just talking with a mortgage broker who works closely with Tim and his clients. What has the impact of the credit environment in the last 12 months with what APRA started a couple of years ago, and now the Banking Royal Commission has had the effect on the credit market? How have you found that has influenced your decision about what people are buying?
Okay. Well, I think what's happened is it's created a negativity in the minds of investors. They think it's a disaster and it's bad out there. But in fact, we've seen second-tier lenders or non-bank lenders, they've grown 10% in their lending just even in the last quarter. So money is still readily available. I think it's the person, say, in Sydney who their house was worth 1.5 a year ago might have dropped down to 1.4 or 1.3. So if you're tapping into the equity of your existing home, that could be a bit of a challenge. or you might not be able to borrow as much as you first thought.
Okay, all right. And we're now halfway through January in the new year, 2019. Where have you seen a change in the market in either just before Christmas or in these first couple of weeks of the new year? And what do you see that's happening, and what are you talking to your clients about at the moment?
Yeah, for sure. Look, with clients right now, I'm talking to them and showing them the opportunities that are growing. But there's probably two major factors we're looking at in this first quarter. We have the Royal Commission findings, and basically they're going to be laying down the law about what's happening in the banking industry at the end of February. So that's one big thing. But we've also got a state election, and we have a federal election over the next 6 months. So when these things happen, people can kind of put the brakes on sometimes. What I say to my clients, this is good, because when people are stepping back, you can step forward into opportunity. So right now I'm finding I'm able to negotiate even more and greater amounts than I could in the past, because some people are gun shy. And so that means that seller might only have one person wanting to buy it. So all of a sudden he'll negotiate even further. So right now it's actually become a buyer's market in a lot of places in Australia.
Okay, all right. Well, thanks, Tim. That's great insights from you, and look forward to continuing to work with you into the future. And if that was good for everyone who's watching and listening, please give us some feedback, good or bad. We enjoy it all. But if you've got any other questions or topics that you'd like us to talk about, please let us know here at Leafield Real Estate, which is for the property investor. All right, thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you.